Hello everyone, today I will present a commentary on the article How Japan Financed Global Reflation by Richard Duncan. This article explains a surprising and often overlooked episode in global economic history, when Japan played a crucial role in stabilizing the world economy in the early 2000s. It shows how monetary policy decisions in one country can have massive global consequences. Global economic risk. To understand the article, we need to look at the global context in the early 2000s. After the dot-com bubble burst in 2000 and the economic slowdown in 2001, the world economy faced a serious risk of deflation. Deflation, which means filling prices, is dangerous because it reduces investment, consumption, and overall economic activity. Policymakers in the United States were especially worried that deflation already present in Japan could spread globally. At the same time, the United States had growing budget deficits and relied heavily on external financing to sustain its economy. Japan's monetary experiment. The core argument of the articles is that Japan carried out a massive and unusual monetary policy experiment between 2003 and early 2004. During this period, the Bank of Japan created about 35 trillion yen, roughly 1% of global GDP, an unprecedented level of money creation in peacetime. But instead of using this money domestically, Japan's Ministry of Finance used it to buy around 320 billion USA dollars from the private sector. Then these dollars were invested mainly in USA government bonds. In simple terms, Japan printed money and used it to finance the USA economy. How this reflected the global economy? This process had a powerful effect. By buying USA debt, Japan helped keep USA interest rates low. This allowed the United States to continue borrowing and spending, especially after implementing tax cuts. As a result, USA consumption increased, which boosted global demand. Countries like China and other Asian economies increased exports to the USA, generating growth across the region. This chain reaction is what Duncan calls global reflation, a recovery driven by liquidity, credit, and international financial flows. In fact, the global economy experienced one of its fastest growth periods in decades around 2004, partly due to this process. Interpretations and debate. Duncan presents different interpretations of Japan's action. One possibility is that this was a form of coordinated global policy where Japan indirectly supported the United States to prevent a global crisis. Another explanation is more practical. Japan wanted to prevent its currency, the yen, from appreciating too much. By buying dollars, it kept the yen weaker and protect its export economy. A third interpretation is that Japan's action helped prevent a financial crisis in the United States. Without this interpretation reason, interest rates and capital outflows could have triggered a severe global recession. Critical reflection. The article also raises important concerns. On one hand, Japan's actions help stabilize the global economy and avoid deflation. On the other hand, they may have encouraged excessive borrowing and contribute to financial imbalances. It also highlights the growing power of central banks, showing how unelected institutions can shape global economic outcomes in significant ways. In conclusion, Duncan argues that Japan's monetary expansion played a key role in financing USA deficits and supporting global economic recovery. This case demonstrates how interconnected the global economy is, how decisions in one country can influence growth, stability, and risk worldwide. Thank you for listening. Ay, Dios, ¿qué pasa?